Hey Lynn, thanks so much for watching. I am making a brand new recipe. I was on my website and I was scrolling through all the recipes and I found this one which I personally think sounds wonderful for the fall. My son said it did not sound good at all, but he didn't have to eat it if he didn't want to. It's called Harvest Pumpkin Skillet. Doesn't that sound interesting? Harvest Pasta Skillet. I'm not sure what I just said. Harvest Pasta Skillet is the name of this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. Hey, and Craig Toombs is watching. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, the first thing we've got to do to get started is slice up a medium onion. So I'm going to be using our simple slicer. I'm going to put it on the number 2 setting. There's 3 settings for our simple slicer, 1, 2, or 3. 1 is the thinnest, 2 is the medium, and then 3 is obviously the thickest slice. So let me just take off the skin of the onion. So the main ingredient, or one of the main ingredients in this recipe, is a can of pumpkin puree with the pasta. Sounds fabulous and delicious to me and perfect for the fall. What do you guys think? Comment below. What do you think of pumpkin in your pasta? All right, so the way this works is you got to make sure to use your guard. You don't want to chop off your fingers. That would not be good. All right, and then you just slice down. And then get all of the onion done. There you go. I'll set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and put it to the close so that nobody will cut their finger in the sink. I'm just going to go ahead and slice this like that. We then need 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. So this is the big giant one, so I'll just need half of the thing of mushrooms. Today I'm going to be cooking with my 12-inch non-stick stainless steel skillet. Love this skillet. It also comes with a lid. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on and add a little bit of oil to my skillet. Here we go. And to that I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms and the onions. Get those starting to cook down, sweat down. And I'm going to add half of these sliced up mushrooms. This is what I call guesstimating. There you go. You know how mushrooms, cook down to barely nothing. So it kind of looks like a lot of mushrooms, but it will work out perfectly. Let me grab a towel. Okay, so while those are cooking down and getting nice and soft and translucent, I'm going to go ahead and start with, I guess we're calling it the sauce. And what that is going to consist of is a can of pumpkin puree. I'm going to go ahead and get that opened. Who else do I have watching me today? I'm sure most people are at work or busy since it's in the middle of the day. Let's see here. All right, that was my smooth edge can opener. And let me grab a scraper right here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that added into my large batter bowl. One of the benefits of using a smooth edge can opener is obviously you have smooth edges on your can and on your lid. So now when I'm digging my scraper inside here, I'm not going to have any nicks and cuts and scrapes on my scraper. So that's awesome. All right, then I need to add 4 cups of vegetable broth. There we go. And I need a cup of dry white wine. And I left the white wine in the refrigerator, so let me grab that real fast. so I have a Chardonnay here, which is exactly what it calls for. I need 3/4 of a cup of the Chardonnay. I'm just going to use my Easy Read measuring cups. Measure out 3/4 of a cup. The little bit left in the end is for me. There's just a swig left. Okay, add that. Put that aside. What's next? I've never made this before, so I do have to read it. Water. So I need to add a 1/2 cup of water. And then I'm just going to whisk all of that around with our stainless steel whisk. There you go. I'm also going to go ahead and give those onions and mushrooms a quick stir. There we go. I'm going to give these a quick stir over here. Can you hear them sizzling away? I love the smell of cooking mushrooms. Oh my, onions. That is looking great at the moment. Hey Monique, how are you? Thank you for watching today. Okay, so while that is cooking, the next thing I need to do is get our seasonings all together. And I'm going to be doing that in our little 1 cup prep bowl. So the seasonings are 1½ tablespoons of paprika. I'm sorry I didn't have my tablespoon measurement. Okay. So I need 1½ tablespoons of paprika. How come I can't get this sucker open? All right, technical difficulties with the paprika. There we go. Just needed to use my knife. All right. That is a little bit more than 1½ tablespoons. All right, that's good. Next, I need 1½ teaspoons of curry powder. So I buy my curry powder in bulk in the grocery store and just keep it in this little canister here. So I need 1½ teaspoons of that. So that's a teaspoon. We love curry powder in our home. We use it all the time. Ooh, it smells so good. Who else cooks with curry powder in their home? Comment below so I know. And this is a 1/2. So if you buy it in these big baggies, like this was a big baggie, it says, it was only $1.89. Anyway, it's so much cheaper. I can't see the quantity, but it's so much cheaper to buy it this way than in one of these kind of containers. For one of these, I think you pay like $4 or $5. All right, so the next is 1 teaspoon of sugar. So let me get the sugar added. Okay. And then I need a 3/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. Cumin. Lots of seasonings with this recipe, man. It's going to be flavorful for the fall. It's going to be great. So I need 3 of these, because these are a 1/4. I'll post the recipe in the comments later. And then I need some ground ginger. I need 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger as well. These are all the fall flavors. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. I need a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Look what's back, everyone. Our Corinthi cinnamon is back for a limited time again this fall season. How much did I say? A 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. Okie-dokie. And the last ingredient is a 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder to add just a little bit of heat. All right, now let me give this a quick stir over here. Those are looking pretty darn good. These mushrooms have really shrunk down a lot. So to that, I'm just gonna stir all of these together. Our little seasoning mix right here. Okay, now to that I need to add 5 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and use my garlic press and do the 5 cloves straight into my skillet. There we go, and I'll just put the skin on here, right here. There we go. Ooh, garlic and onions are smelling so delicious. That was a big one. I got one more to go. All right. Now mix all of that up so that garlic gets cooked. Okay, so now the recipe calls for a 14.5 of protein-enriched multi-grain penne pasta. That's what the recipe calls for. I am using 12 ounces of gluten-free penne pasta. So we're going to go ahead and add that. If I add my seasoning, hold on, let me read the recipe. Okay, stir pumpkin mixture. Oh, so what I'm going to do now is add my liquid pumpkin puree mixture and the pasta. So let's take this over here. I'm going to carefully pour this into my skillet. There we go. Add the pasta, and the pasta's going to cook in all of those juices. Doesn't that sound delicious? Stir it up. Okay. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. Or until your pasta is cooked to the way you like it. So I've set my timer for about 10 minutes. Let me see when I add the seasonings. Y'all are doing this live with me for the first time too. Add the garlic. I did that. Stir in the pumpkin mixture, bring to a simmer, stir in the pasta. Oh, I didn't bring to a simmer. That's all right. Reduce the heat to medium. Doesn't say when to add the... I'm going to go ahead and add this. It didn't say when to add it. I'm adding it now. There you go. Ooh, I actually can smell the wine in there. Yummy. There we go. This is going to be a beautiful color between the pumpkin puree and the spices and seasonings. There we go. All right. All right, so now we'll let that cook down, and I will come back when this is almost finished. The final steps are going to be adding some heavy whipping cream, perfect for the fall, right? And some freshly grated Parmesan cheese and some shelled pistachios. So y'all be sure to come back in about 8 minutes and we'll finish up the recipe.
A few moments later.
Hey everyone, and I'm back. So it has been 10 minutes and the pasta is finished cooking. So let me bring it over. We now take it off the heat. So I will bring it over to the counter. There we go. Can you see this? Oh. Now I realized after the fact that I used less pasta, but the same amount of liquid. So it's a little thinner than it probably is supposed to be. But I am supposed to add the cream, and I am supposed to add the ounce of Parmesan cheese. And we then sprinkle the pistachios on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up the pistachios. We need 1/4 of a cup, and I'm going to use our old food chopper. I haven't used the food chopper in a long time because I usually use the manual food processor. But this recipe, for those that did not join in on the first video, be sure to scroll through and look for the first video. Hey Cindy, how are you? I am making Harvest Pasta Skillet. So be sure to look for the first recipe, the first video with how I made it. But basically, I put pumpkin puree, wine, vegetable stock, cooked it with a whole bunch of different seasonings and spices with the pasta. So it's a great fall recipe. So I'm going to chop this up. And that is going to be sprinkled on the top. There's shelled pistachios. I love pistachios. All right. All right, next I need to add the cream. I don't think I need the full cup of cream. Let me just see. Or it's not a cup, it's a 1/2 cup. But, oh yeah, this thickened up pretty good. I'll go ahead and add the cream. There we go. What's wrong with a little cream in the fall? Nothing's wrong with that, right? And it goes with the pumpkin, right? Oh my goodness. And the smells coming out of here. It smells so good, you guys. That's all the cinnamon and the paprika and the curry powder. Oh my gosh, I will be sure to post the recipe below so you'll be able to make it yourself. Now I'm just gonna use my adjustable grater here and grate some fresh Parmesan cheese right on top. Just calls for 1 ounce, so it doesn't really call for a lot of cheese. You could probably actually just omit it altogether if you wanted to. Okay. I like Parmesan cheese, so I'm going for it. I am going for the parm. And we'll get that all stirred up. Okay. Get that stirred together. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So good. There we go. Now the recipe says you can add a little parsley, garnish with black pepper and some parsley. So I don't have any parsley, but I obviously have black pepper. Let me show you how delicious this looks. Well, let me put some on a bowl, on a plate. That way I can show you guys because it really, really looks good. So it's got mushrooms, onions, garlic. Top it with a little of the pistachios. Look, you guys. Can you see how delicious that looks? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to dive in and eat this. It looks absolutely delicious. Perfect for the fall with that pureed pumpkin. Because what do you think of in the fall? Pumpkin, right? Always. And it's got all of those spices and seasonings that also go with the fall. Now I want to take a bite, but I don't want to burn my mouth. Mmm. This is delicious. I highly recommend this, and I am going to post the recipes down below for you guys. So if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm Cooking with Louise on YouTube. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, guess what? I'm Cooking with Louise on Instagram as well. And of course, if you haven't liked my Facebook page, please be sure to do that. I am, what else? Cooking with Louise, independent consultant with the Pampered Chef. Super easy to find. Leanne says, making a pumpkin pie today. Well, if you have any leftover pumpkin, if you have an extra can, you should try to make this. It's absolutely delicious. Y'all have a great hump day. Bye now.